Everything else out there is what else do consumers spend their money on? And this down here was how badly was that industry affected in 1991 in terms of the depth of decline at its worst point in the cycle, and how long was it before it showed any signs of recovery. This is vehicle sales. So as an example, vehicle sales in 1991 fell 30% at the worst point from where they started the recession, and it took 12 quarters or 3 years before vehicle sales showed any signs of recovery from that position. Now that has a fundamental impact on how much money the vehicle sales manufacturers were prepared to spend, knowing that there was no consumer appetite or a sharply reduced consumer appetite for their products. Out here, you won't be able to see it, but this is major appliances. This is white goods, fridges, freezers. You do replace them if they go wrong, but actually, if they're still working, you can hang on to an old fridge freezer for a long time. It's a discretionary spend, it's a high value item, and so that fell about 25%, and it took 4 years before showing any signs of recovery. So the further across it is here, the longer it was in recession, and the depth down here is what's different. Now, on the good news for media companies is you get stuff like books and newspapers fall a little bit and come back reasonably quickly. Books, by the time they were in recession last time around, actually they were coming out of recession. So it was a really swift bounce back. But restaurants, cafes, down about 15%, took 2.5 years to bounce back. So this I use, as I say, not just for presentations about media, but actually which segments of the UK economy do we think are hurting? Where do we think we should be putting, from our side of things, business recovery services? Which areas of the economy do we think are hurting so much that they need restructuring advice? So it's not just something I use about consumer spending for media, although I find this fascinating because it says to me, this is the reason why a lot of brands are out of the market right now, because they can see that actually they need to continue to keep the brand ticking over, but they're not in big push for consumer spending because the consumer appetite isn't there. Now, things I think will be different this time around. So this is back to 1991, so this is old data. I think it's instructive, but I think it will be different this time. For example, vehicle sales, the scrappage scheme that the UK government got this time around, that says trade in your old car for a new one and we will give you a government incentive, I think means that this will not be so deep, and I think it will recover faster. So in fact, there's every evidence that new vehicle sales with that scrappage scheme were actually quite healthy through the course of 2009. The question is, how well will that be sustained? So what will it look like at the worst point in the cycle for them? But the most fundamental thing that I think will be different this time is that back in 1991 the internet didn't exist. And online has given people an ability to shift the way that they purchase, shift the way that they sell, shift the way that they actually interact with people. So I think this will be different, but actually there's lots of stuff in here that I find very instructive, particularly when I go and talk to various media owners, because it says to me, actually this is the reason why consumer spending is holding up in some areas, but advertising is really